Annyeong everybody, Chris Matrix again. Thank you guys so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. Let's talk. So I was perusing around the Overwatch forums last night after I got home from work, and I found a thread that was, gaining a little bit of steam, so I kind of wanted to talk about it. Obviously, I do disagree with this post. I will go into the post and I'll explain where the poster, the original poster, has some decent points, but is also, I feel, at least in my opinion, as someone who's played this game since the beta originally came out last year, is incorrect. The title of said forum post is "Hero Switching is Secretly Why This Game is So Toxic." Yeah, that's legitimately a post, and it's gaining steam on the Overwatch forums. So the poster goes on to say, "I was a bit concerned about this when the game's mechanics were first unveiled, but now I'm positive this is the root of why the game seems so much more frustrating than any comparable game. Overwatch is a game of hard counters. Most character matchups are extremely skewed in one character's favor, so that the character who has the advantage will usually win about 80% of the time, even if they're at a skill disadvantage." Right. So, a lot of us, we've been playing for a while. We know what's up. We know that this is a game that is based around counters, based around, heroes being able to deal with a certain situation from another hero. It's part of the core mechanics there. It's not something they're trying to hide. It's not something that is, deeply embedded within the code of the game. This is how the game works. Except, where I disagree here is where he goes on to states that the character who has the advantage will win 80% of the time, even if they're at a skill disadvantage. Skill does play a huge factor in this game. Most people here know that, hey, if there's a Genji on the other team that's just leaps and bounds above you in skill, he's going to be able to win most, if not every single matchup against you. It's just how it's going to happen. Why? Because there is that skill disparity. I've seen Genjis take out McCrees, I've seen them take out Pharahs, I've seen them take out, quite literally, every other hero. Why? Because of that skill disparity. To say that it's 80% of the time it's bullocks. That's exactly what it is. I severely disagree with this point, and a person who's got that higher skill is going to realize probably a lot sooner than you if they need to switch heroes to deal with a certain situation. Like if you've got a Reinhardt, Bastion, Mercy, and whatever they're doing is not working, they're going to realize a lot sooner that they need to switch. That's just the core mechanics of the game. He keeps going on to say this ostensibly makes the game more accessible, as a player who is weak at the game can still contribute by picking a character who counters the enemy team. But there's a significant catch. Once you get to be even moderately good at the game, you quickly realize that team composition is paramount to winning games. Okay, I agree with that point, to an extent. A team comp that counters the enemy will steamroll, he says. Not necessarily. If the skill difference is there, which sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, sometimes they're on equal skill. If you're on equal skill, then yeah, your hero counters are what's going to win the game. Okay? It's just how it is. That's what the game is designed to be about. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. They've said this from day one. This is how it is. Now, when we go in, he says, the first sign of trouble, the witch hunt, as he calls it, for the player who is the problem begins. The whole team knows that someone needs to switch, but they really agree about who it is, and people who just want to relax and play a character that they like or haven't played in a while may not be happy to be told to switch. I get that. I mean, I understand. There's games where I only want to play Hanzo, or I only want to play Mercy, or I only want to play Bastion. I get it. People don't want to switch. Those people also oftentimes lose a lot more games than they probably should, because they're ignoring the base mechanic of the game, which is swapping heroes. You'll notice here in the gameplay that I swapped heroes a couple of times. First to Widowmaker, because that wasn't working on our attack comp, then to Pharah to try and deal with Bastion, but it was being dealt with, so I switched to another hero and dealt with it quite well. That's the basic mechanics of the game. Anyways, the poster goes on to say, furthermore, you have to be constantly evaluating your own gameplay and trying to figure out if you need to switch, which adds an extra level of stress compared to most games and distracts you from simply focusing on playing the game well. Switching heroes is how you play the game well. This is not a secret. It's just how it is. This is Overwatch. This is a hero class-based shooter where you're able to swap heroes in order to deal with what the enemy is throwing at you. This is how it is, guys. This is, if you don't like it, don't play. You don't like it, go play another game that you find more enjoyable. Believe me, we're not going to ostracize you or criticize you for wanting to do something you find more enjoyable. You don't like it, don't play. So, the person who did this post says, unfortunately, there is likely no solution to this issue. The counter-switching system is so intrinsic to Overwatch, agreed, that it cannot be changed without totally reinventing the game. I completely understand his point and why he's saying it, but what people have to understand is that, yes, hero switching is a core mechanic to this game. If you decide not to do it, guess what? You're not only hurting yourself, but you're going to be hurting your team, and you're going to lose more games. That's just simply how it is. And, you know, I completely understand why people only want to play one hero. That's not me. That's not the large majority of the competitive nature of this game. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Chris Matrix. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, stay awesome, Gotham.